Good morning. Welcome again to Morning Devotions. Thank you again so much for our time together. Matthew chapter 18. How do we treat the next generation? Well, Jesus says beginning in verse 5, "Whoever receives such a child in my name receives me. But whoever causes one of these little ones who believe in me to sin, it would be better for him to have a great millstone fastened around his neck and to be drowned in the sea." Now, brothers and sisters, how do you treat the next generation? How do we treat our children? How do we treat the preteens and the teens? How do we treat the next generation? He said, listen, receive them in Jesus' name. Receive them like you would receive Jesus. Treat this next generation not with condescension. Treat this next generation not with an attitude of superiority, but treat them and receive them like you would receive Jesus. And then he goes on and said, now listen, don't cause these little ones to stumble. Too many times today we forget the example that we are to live in front of the next generation. And we then complain about how the next generation is not as good as our generation. Please forgive me. We puff our chests out and we talk about the millennials and we talk about, excuse me. Maybe the problem is with the example that we have lived in front of them. We have to live an example in front of the next generation of how to live. Not just, tell them to go and study and do this kind of stuff, but live the principles, live the ethics, live the standards. We should never be the type of people that cause the next generation to stumble because we're trying to justify our own sins.